This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so we got Dthang. Court surfaces. They film everything in Florida, so the video of him going to court. And he gets a bond. Yo, you can't make this stuff up, bro. I've never seen somebody get in trouble time after time after time for weapons in Florida, right? And he always gets off. He always gets a bond. He always bonds out. When Dthang got released, I was like, all right, he's either going to do music or he's going back to jail. He's either going to make it big in music or he's going back to jail. Well, he hasn't done much music. Did a few songs, nothing like really impactful. And then he's going back to jail all the time. But sometimes people, there's certain people in life that just keep getting lucky, and eventually one time they're really going to jail, and they're like, I don't know where I went wrong, bruh. I can't feel sorry for those people, man. But anyways, we'll see what happens with Dthang. I think something deeper is going on, because why do they keep letting him out? Is he useful? Some people are useful idiots, and he might be one of those people that lead him to more stuff. He might. I'm not even saying he's cooperating. They could just be stumbling across stuff, watching him. 50 Cent. So he obviously, we talked about, he reacted to Jim Jones. Somebody in Jim Jones's camp is a spy and is secretly filming things, secretly giving information to Cameron and 50. And he says, hey, Cameron, turn the lights off. Bum guys in there with flashlights. I think this was an issue with a past tenant that had a big Con Ed bill, right? Because in New York, Con Ed is the power company. They're the worst, bro. You could be punished for somebody else's bill. But you got to be careful where you move into a place and make sure it's clear. But, so 50 Cent laughs at this, and then he's like, hey, they're in there like, hey, all we got is us, and it shows little beady eyes popping out, and then he does his own little skit where the lights go off, and he says, what happened to the lights, man? No, it's not, it's like whatever. And Jim Jones responds with his little, he lights some candles, acts like he's doing his podcast with candlelight. It is what it is. I'm going to be honest with you. In the end of the day, Jim, this is either going to work or it's not. If it doesn't work, Jim will be a laughingstock. If it works, he's going to get everything done. He has an investor. I know that. Okay? So someone's investing in him, and they're letting Jim just go crazy. Jim's building a bodega in there. Things that don't even make sense, right? He could tell you all day, oh, no, I'm going to rent it out for this and this. How many people are going to rent the bodega store built in your studio? And nothing's free. And he's like, people are going to have to pay for chips and stuff. I'm going to have a real bodega in here. Bro, you're going to have 20 people in there at a time. I mean, how much money are you really going to make at the bodega there? Then he's going to have a studio. And then he's going to but eventually, you can't let everybody into this space because, you're going to have problems. He's going to have a film part. He's going to have a podcast studio. But to have a space like that, I don't care what borough you're in. This one's in the Bronx, right? It's expensive. The light bill's high. It's expensive to run the lights, the AC, the heat. And that's the stuff that takes you out. The overhead. I'm not trying to be too negative, but I'm just going to, he might as well just make this his house. Because this is where he's going to be living, bro. Because, this is truly expensive. And if you're not, people don't pay. He's not building a soundstage. I mean, I'm just being, you guys can call me a hater all you want. I know about sound stages, okay? To make money in a sound stage, it has to be a certain height. to raise up lights and bring them down. There's a lot of things that have to happen, and none of that is in this studio. It's not taught that the ceilings aren't tall enough for big studios to come in and rent it out. I don't know, bro. We'll see. It's like a fantasy factory, like I said. All right, so Gucci Mane. This is the big story. Gucci Mane was robbed, okay? We saw Hernandez Govan talk yesterday, talking about how Gucci came to Memphis and signed a bunch of artists to get under Gotti's skin, and Pooh Shiesty's now leaving. There's no confirmed reports of Pooh Shiesty leaving Gucci and going with Gotti. There's no confirmed reports about that. Hernandez Govan is desperate for attention. He was on a bunch of podcasts after he beat his trial. Told his side of the story, got addicted to that, thought he was going to be one of these guys that are reoccurring guests. He's not. So he's trying to make himself something, in the news to maybe get called onto these podcasts and get paid. So Gucci Mane in California, I guess, because Seti Nash said he could get his stuff back, right? Seti Nash is in Cali, right? So Seti Nash said he could get his wedding ring, and I think it's a wedding ring and a watch. He could get it back. How Gucci Mane got robbed? Anybody can get robbed. And if you don't give it up, you're going in the dirt sometimes. Is it worth the risk for a watch and a ring? No. You can buy another watch. You can buy another ring. And you know what? Your ego will get you killed. If they got you, they got you. Don't go places where people actually don't have things that people could get you for. If you feel like you're going to a sketchy area, don't wear that watch and his wedding ring is his wedding ring, but hey. Hernandez Govan highlighted that, Gotti took his girl a long time ago and he's still bitter about that. That was a long time ago. That was in 2012 when Keisha Kaur was a video girl, right? And, she didn't know she was exclusive to Gucci Mane. And, Yo Gotti told the story as if, he asked her, like, is that your man? And she said no, and they smashed. And then, Gucci took it personally. And him and Gotti were never friends since. They actually had beef. Then, Gucci Mane married her, and that's his wife. Every girl has a history. So does Angela, the girl that was dating Gotti, Angela Simmons, right? It is what it is. All right. Hernandez Govan's a little thing. I'll play it again, but he's kind of just heard the news, jumped on it, added a little spice to it, and that's that. It is what it is. But let's see. Here it is, right here.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this, man, but no, I'm lying. Hey, Gucci Mane, LaFleur. You went and signed 100 nigga from Memphis, Tennessee to try to antagonize Gotti all because he fucked your wife. Then you dropped them little niggas and kept Pooh and not Gotti and took Pooh Shiesty from you. How it feel to have a Memphis nigga, man, take your wife and your number one artist? You gotta tighten up, Gucci. All that goofy shit you were doing. Signing 100 nigga from Memphis, Tennessee. You ain't never heard them nigga mixtape. Just signing a nigga trying to antagonize a nigga. And we know about the other little shit that just happened too. Yeah, we gonna run that later on though, Gucci. She real shiesty around here, I see. Hey, y'all pray for Gucci. Hey, Gucci LaFleur, I grew up around my granddad and them, bro. They say when you get married, man, you supposed to always keep your wedding ring on. Always keep your Damn, my bad, Gucci. You don't know what yours is.
Now, this guy is talking too much because people now are linking him closer to Yo Gotti than he says he was close. That's not good. Plus, and let's make it clear, Pooh Shiesty can't leave. He's in a contract. Anyways, This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.